Right, Terry, a belated welcome back to Exmouth Town. Obviously you're here now as chairman.
Yep.
Firstly, can you give the fans who may not be familiar with you a background on yourself and why you ended up coming back to the club?
Sure. I was initially at the club back in 2014. I became a director, and shortly after that became vice chairman. I stayed then for 5 years, and then decided it was time to take a break. So I stepped away from it a little bit, and I was enjoying the break. And obviously kept in touch with Hilly and Bob Child throughout that time. And I had a phone call out the blue one day, and they said, "Do you fancy coming for a pint one evening?" I said, "That's fine, provided we're not talking about football." Obviously Hilly and Bob gave me the guarantee we wouldn't talk about football. And sort of 10 minutes in, then we get to the football and it's, "Come on, let's cut to the chase, would you be interested in coming back?" So it kind of went from there really. We had some initial meetings with the previous chairman, talked about potentially me coming in and taking over. Within a matter of 6 or 8 weeks, I was back.
Perfect, and obviously any chat with Kev quickly goes to football. And did that help knowing those guys before, so it was a bit more seamless?
Of course it did. I mean, it was me that brought Kev back to the club last time when I was here. So yeah, I've got the utmost respect for Kev, and that was obviously a big selling point that Kev was still here. So that was, it was a no-brainer for me really. Then.
And obviously alongside yourself, you've got a board of directors and some familiar names to the fans, and what can they bring to the club as well? How important are they?
So we kept 2 of the existing directors. So Chard Tapp, who's the football secretary, his knowledge on that is second to none. And Rolo was here and involved with the team. I had a conversation with Rolo about taking him out the dressing room and being more involved with the board, which he's still not convinced me that's really what he wanted to do, because every opportunity he's back in the changing room. But yeah, his knowledge and his link between the team and what we're trying to achieve off the field, I thought was a good balance, and it brought a good fit to us. I brought in some new directors, Duncan Hamilton, who everyone knows around the club, who's done great work for the Mufftown Casuals, and he's just works tirelessly fundraising. Carl Sowden I brought in, who I knew through work. He's got great business knowledge. He's taken on projects for us, and I've set in projects which he's looking at the moment. Steve Edwards is another guy I'd worked with for 8-9 years, who's associated with Linkstone Manor. He's one of the directors there, and his knowledge on the bar and the catering, the hospitality is fantastic. So that brings us something, a great addition to the board.
Perfect. Then obviously you come in, the clubs that are coming off their best season ever.
Yep.
What are your ambitions for the club on the pitch, but mainly off the pitch?
So certainly off the pitch, it's not been easy. We found ourselves in a bit of a hole, and we've had to put a lot of work into that. We've made great progress. There's a long way to go yet though. But yeah, in the short time we've been here, the success we've had off the pitch has been phenomenal really from what we've achieved. So yeah, that's a season-long project really off the pitch for us to get back on a level playing field. That potentially is going to affect on the pitch, but I realise we've got to keep the balance of having a team that are competitive, that the supporters want to come and watch, and that's going to help us off the pitch. So it's finding that balance really.
Definitely. And speaking of getting that support, and you had the sponsors evening recently, which was a great success. How did that go?
It was fantastic. I mean, the sponsors we've got here are great. We had 40 plus turn up that evening, and the support they've shown us has been fantastic. They were all keen to be involved, and they understand the position we're in, and they've been very supportive. They've been great.
And for potentially new sponsors, what are the sort of things they can offer to us, but also we can offer to them to make it a real great partnership?
I think come and jump on board. We're on the up now. We're looking at progressing, and it's a great time to get on board and be involved with the club. That come down and enjoy our hospitality and have a look and see what we can offer you.
And another thing the club have brought back recently is the coaches, the away games, partnering with Green Slades.
Yes.
That has obviously been a great addition as well. And how important is that so you can make sure fans get to the away games?
I thought it was one of the first decisions I made. I just think it brings everyone together. On a match day, the players are together, the fans are on the coach together, and it's just a great atmosphere. And I think it was a no-brainer really that to introduce that again was great, and I think everyone's enjoying it and loving it.
And how important are the fans to Exmouth Town, both the MTC and just the match-going fans?
Look, I've had this conversation so many times with the guys here. The supporters at this club are the envy of not just clubs locally, but in this league. They're phenomenal. The work they put in, the Mufftown Casuals guys, is second to none, and this club is so reliant on them, and you know, the work is fantastic.
And we've got things like bingo nights and darts nights coming to the club, and we've had like the Sunday Fun Day with K2. How important are those events to the club happening off the pitch outside of match day?
Yeah, absolutely. Our biggest asset is the clubhouse. We're not making any money if the clubhouse is closed, so we need to develop that. Duncan's are getting involved with the bingo and things like that. So yeah, it's critical for us to generate that income, and the clubhouse is just sat there. So why would we not use it?
And memberships are still available for those who want to purchase and support the club.
Of course they are.
Why should fans who perhaps haven't got on board yet, why should they get involved?
I think it just helps the club. You know, it's cash flow for us, which is very important. But come down and see what we can offer you. You know, you'll have a great day. Everyone's always welcoming here. It's a great club to be around, so come down and join us.